Have you ever been confronted where you lose your temper? In your lifetime, have you lost temper? You know, anger or temper is an inborn thing. Everybody has it. Even angels lose temper too. Animals lose temper. But never make a decision in anger. Any situation you find yourself, don't. You know, a picture shows a lot. If you can see on that picture, what lessons can you learn from that picture? The dog is provoked by a bird, and a dog is flying to catch the bird. What lessons can you learn from that picture alone? One, think twice before you respond when you are provoked. Decisions made in anger have consequences. See now, the dog is flying. What is going to happen? It will not catch the bird. Neither will it turn down. It will have to fall to the cliff. Maybe break and die, or will break the legs, and it may not have that energy. So what? Take calculated risks. Always take calculated risks before you act. Evaluate what are the consequences. Some people will want to lure you to their level of incompetence, to their level of experience where they will beat you. You see, the bird has lured the dog. The dog has its strength on the ground. It has been lured to where the bird has experience in flying. And now it's going to face those consequences. You know, there is a very practical example of a man called Leonard Muitiga. This man, a very accomplished banker, an IT guy. He has a PhD. He had a marital issue with the wife. They were fighting over children, what. The wife happened to get away and they went out of the country, came to the United States. Instead of Muitiga surrendering, Muitiga followed the woman to the US. And he tried to go through the court system in the US. And you know, the court system in the US is different than the Kenyan system, which tends to favor men. But here, he found that things were not working. So the guy resorted that he wanted to find a hitman to kill the wife. So he used his taxi driver to get contacts of how to get a hitman. The taxi driver reported to police, and a police officer came to pose as a hitman to be hired. He recorded everything, and finally Muitiga was arrested. Muitiga is now in jail. A man who had a Rasta's career is now serving in jail. So, what is happening? The guy is in jail now. In the US, he is facing attempted murder, which is very serious in the US. He is required to give a bond of 5 million, which he cannot. He has now lost his job, all his money, and is going to serve in jail. Did you see? He was lured. This was a very practical example how this guy was lured to the trap. If the wife had run away with kids, he could have surrendered. But he followed, which means now the wife has an upper hand. He's going to have the children. He will not see his children, probably will serve 20, 30 years in jail for trying to kill the wife. Of course, the wife will live happily thereafter. So, that example, do not rely on your strengths instead of wisdom. You see, he went to his own trap. When you are confronted with your enemy, use surrender tactics. I wish he could have used surrender tactics. Your enemy will fall and destroy himself. See now, they were fighting over children, and the wife surrendered. Now his enemy has faltered. Clearly, if you have to do anything, be sure your enemy, lure your enemy to your trap where you have experience. So in all this, if there is anything you have to remember this picture. The dog was lured to a position of his inexperience and was beaten. So in any way, if you really want to succeed in life, before you never act when you are in anger. That will bring you to your ruin.